Hey there. Violence District Survivor perk tier list. I like Violence District. I've been playing it for a little bit now, and I feel like, well, you know, I always enjoyed watching tier lists, and I figured I'd make a tier list and also explanation of all these perks. So, if you're new to this game, I wanna, you know, I wanna make a tier list for the content and just a explanation guide for all of these. What perks are good, what perks are bad, what perks are outclassed, what perks, you know, are the meta. Do keep in mind that this game changes all the time. Literally tomorrow, like maybe Born in Blood could be the best perk in the game. Maybe, you know, like things just change all the time. So everything is, you know, updated to today, the day that you're seeing this video, which is going to be August 9th. So if you're watching 3 months from now, good chance things aren't exactly the same. It's not very often that the Violence District team just completely changes how a perk works, completely changes everything about it, but numbers tweaks are totally just going to be enough to change whether a perk is good or not, worth using or not. So let's just get into it. Also, I've got a cute little tier list I found online. I'm going to be linking it in the description. I don't know who made this. Oh, this guy, I think. Demetrios Gogoulus. That's not how you pronounce that, but thanks to this man right here, you're the goat. You saved me a whole bunch of time by making this frame. Really appreciate it. I'm going to put this in the description so you can find it. And give this guy an updoot, you know, because he deserves it. There's currently 38 Survivor perks in Violence District, and they've been adding 3 or so for a while now. Some perks, just in general, before I start the ranking, the listing, in Dead by Daylight, which, if you did not already know, Violence District is a 99% clone of Dead by Daylight. There's hundreds of Survivor perks. I think there's like 400 or something. It's a really insane number of Survivor perks in Dead by Daylight. And in Violence District, there's less than 40. There's 38. So there's a lot of perks that aren't bad. They do good things, but there's only 38 perks. If that makes sense. So some perks that you might see and think, huh, that perk actually doesn't sound too bad. Well, there's only like, I'm just going to say it, only about half of these perks are even worth like using. Most of the perks in this game you kind of have to lean into, and they're just really niche. So anyways, keep that in mind. If you see a perk and you think that I'm wrong, you think that this perk is actually good, actually bad, let me know. I'll read everything. I don't expect this video to blow up, so I'm not going to put too much effort into it. I might just upload my recording right here. I might just do that. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Let's just get into it. Absolute confidence. This is one of the few support perks in this game, and as such, it is going to rank higher on this list than it might if this were a Dead by Daylight perk. That kind of applies across the board, but I'm mentioning it specifically because there's not very many support perks at all. While you are in chase, your Survivor teammates within 180 studs will have their aura revealed to you, and they gain a 7% action speed boost. What this means, what this action speed boost means, that this means healing and generators. It means everything with a bar, right? You know, with like a completion bar. So this does not mean a run speed boost. This does not mean a vault speed boost. This means healing and generators. Most of the value you're getting from this perk is when you're in chase and you want to take the killer somewhere where none of your teammates are. So if there's like a really good looping spot next to a generator, you can just go to a different one. You know, if you see that one of your teammates is on it. It happens all the time, right? Like, it always feels bad when one of your teammates is being chased and then just leads the killer right to you while you're on a generator. That always feels bad. So with absolute confidence, You give your teammates, which 180 studs is a pretty big radius. On smaller maps like SCP or Valdalobos, this is going to be most of the map. You know where they are, so you can make sure the killer doesn't get towards them, and you give them a cute little generator repair speed boost. It's a really great multifunctional support perk, and that's why I'm putting it in A tier. It's a very good support perk. It does multiple things. It's great. This is a great perk. It's really fantastic. Against all odds, while you are healing a survivor in the dying state, gain a 70% healing speed boost and reveal the aura of the killer. This perk is, like, it's strong. A 70% healing speed boost is really good, and revealing the aura of the killer is also really good. These are both very strong. But most games, you just will not be healing a survivor in the dying state. That will not be happening in most games. You have to lean into this to make this good. Like, the best use case I see for this perk would be if one of your teammates that you're queuing with, that maybe you have in a Discord call or something, is using the no pay no gain gun perk, and then they die, and then you can heal them faster and see where the killer is. But you could also just use like Pacifist or something and just get like a flat healing speed boost. There's better healing perks, and there's better killer reveal aura perks. This is just too niche, so I'm just gonna put what's it called again? I forgot. Against all odds. I'm gonna put this in D tier because it's there's certainly worse perks than this in the game. Snake step. There's certainly worse perks, but this is just a nothing. This is a nothing burger perk. Ambitious Medic. This is one of the only 2 perks in the game currently that can actually that can heal you. The other of which being Last Stand, which is a endgame perk, and I'll get to that in a minute. With Ambitious Medic, if you're injured and you land 8 great skill checks, you heal. It also says that this perk increases your default skill check trigger chance by 40. I haven't noticed a difference. In fact, it kind of feels like I'm getting the skill checks less often. It also has this text that says healing skill checks will be 40% slower, but there are no healing skill checks anymore. So they just got to remove that line of text because, you know. So getting 8 great skill checks on generators to heal is like, it's good. Like obviously this is good. This is a strong thing to be able to do. But maybe you'd rather have perks that help you not get hit in the first place. Maybe like Flow State, maybe an exhaustion perk, maybe even a support perk like Absolute Confidence, or just something, High Karma, like just things that can help you not get hit, or something that just like improve your ability to play the game better. Like this is just a lot of time that you're spending while you're injured on a generator. It's not bad. This is not a bad perk, but there's no way that I could put Ambitious Medic any higher than like C tier. This perk is fine. This is a fine perk. If maybe great skill checks were like easier to hit, not much, maybe like 20 to 40% easier to hit. Maybe if they repair the generator a bit more, then it was like a semi-generator perk, semi-healing. It like if this was multi-purpose, then it'd be a pretty easy B, but it's not. It does one thing, and it doesn't do it very well. It does it. It does it annoyingly poorly, actually. So high C tier is where I'm gonna put Ambitious Medic. You can get value out of it, but you really have to lean into it so much that it's just kind of annoying. You might as well just run Bandage. If you want to be able to heal, just play Bandage. That's kind of like where my opinion is on Ambitious Medic. Just use the Bandage. If you want to heal, if that's something you want to do, you might as well just use the Bandage. Or play Last Stand, because that perk's probably better. Born in Blood. When a heal action on another survivor started by you finishes, you and the healed survivor gain a 30% speed boost for 6 seconds. The best use case for this would be like if you finish healing a survivor and then the killer comes around the corner, you can use this 30% speed boost, which is right in between heads up's 20% and then quick recovery and perfect landing's 40%. So a pretty healthy speed boost. Like heads up is already, it's a 30% speed boost. For 6 seconds, you can use that to get to a looping spot, like it's good. This perk has, if you use it in the right spot, it could be pretty good. But you kind of have to lean into it because most of the time when you're healing, you're not going to want to be found by the killer. You're going to want to go to the edge of the map and sit there and heal you and your survivor buddy, heal you and your friend. So most of the time in practice, this speed boost will just be used to get back to a generator, to get back to the middle of the map. Of course, you would rather run this perk than no perk, but you would really have to lean into this one or start healing in bad spots, which why would you do that anyways? Because this perk doesn't activate if you only heal halfway. Maybe if this gave both players like a 10% speed boost, even if you didn't finish healing, maybe it'd be, like it's something. And then maybe like this on a cooldown. But no, this perk, most of the time, like it's kind of antithetical. It's oxymoron. There's a better word, but you're going to want to be healing on like the edge of the map where the killer can't find you anyways. So this speed boost most of the time will just kind of be wasted. You'd probably rather just play a healing speed boost perk like Pacifist or something. So it's not bad, but you have to lean into it like too much. It just kind of sucks. So low C, high D tier. That's where it's going. Build different. This is one of the few perks in the game that pairs very well with an item. In this case, the adrenaline shot. Build different. Whenever you heal up from the dying state, so whenever you're like knocked on the ground and you get back up, you gain endurance, which is the same thing that happens after you get put off the hook. It gives you like invincibility, I guess you could say, for 8 seconds. Only one hit, and once you get hit, endurance goes away. It's like getting off the hook, right? This is really strong. Normally, with adrenaline shot, if a killer knocks you and then use adrenaline shot, they can just hit you again and then you fall back down. Not the case with Build Different. In addition to that, Build Different allows you to pick yourself up once per round. It lets you bring yourself back up once per game, which is really good. That's really strong. That can win you games. So Build Different lets you get to a survivor that's on the hook when you otherwise wouldn't be able to. It lets you finish opening a gate when you otherwise wouldn't be able to. It instead of making adrenaline shot, well, you might as well not even use it after the killer's knocked you because they can just hit you again. It's like, well, guess what? Now I can take 2 hits and the killer has to follow me, or else I can pick myself back up, because you can do that with Build Different. It's so good. This is pretty easily a high A or S tier perk. I guess I'm not sure how many S tier perks I'm gonna have. Not very many. I'm gonna put it in S. S if you're using it with adrenaline shot. If you're not, this perk sucks. So D tier, probably right here. Indeed, no, right here in D tier. If you're not using it with adrenaline, but if you are using it with adrenaline, it's really strong. It is very, very good with adrenaline. It makes adrenaline so much better. It's so much fun. It's great. If you're using adrenaline, you might as well just be using Build Different because it makes the item so much better. Call me back. When a survivor you healed gets hit by the killer, their aura will be revealed to you for 40 seconds. When a survivor gets knocked, you can already see them because you can see knocked survivors through walls. This perk kind of sucks. There's better ways to see survivors, like Absolute Confidence, like Familiar Soul. But with Call Me Back, you have to heal them and then they get hit by the killer. Like, maybe if there was something you could do about this, maybe if, like, just seeing where a survivor is for 40 seconds is not very good. This is just not a good perk. It doesn't pair well with anything in particular. This perk just kind of sucks. There's no item or other perk that you can pair this with particularly well. Maybe Riot Shield or Gun, I guess, but you can just use Familiar Soul and then know, you just already know. This perk just kind of sucks. It's not like other perks. Well, you do have to heal the survivor for it to activate. But if you heal the survivor, surely they're going to get hit again. So I would not say it's as niche as these two perks. I don't know. It's like on the same level as Born in Blood. It's like the same. I'm going to put it right here. Seeing where a survivor is not the strongest thing in the world, because Absolute Confidence does that and also gives, like, I don't know, this perk just sucks. This perk is not very good. Debut Showcase. This is part of a select few perks that lets you show the aura of the killer to your entire team. Debut Showcase and Hearing Aid and Visual Learner, and I guess I'll just go over all three of those right now. Debut Showcase. Whenever you parry, stun, or blind the killer, the aura of the killer will be revealed to every survivor for 5 seconds. It's pretty good, right? Hearing Aid. Whenever the killer breaks a pallet or damages a generator within a 240 stud range, which is really big, reveal the aura of the killer to you for 6 seconds. And then Visual Learner. Whenever a generator is completed, gain a token. After fast vaulting, a token is used and reveals the aura of the killer for 5 seconds. If they are within a 150 stud range. Additionally, this perk increases any aura reveal read duration by 2 seconds. So, Debut Showcase is meant to be used with flashlight. Like or when you stun the killer with a pallet, then if you're running Debut Showcase with Visual Learner, you get to show the aura of the killer to your entire team for 7 seconds. Hearing Aid's like whatever. It's like fine. Debut Showcase is definitely the best because it lets you show the aura of the killer to your entire team. Visual Learner just increases that duration by 2 seconds. But really, you could just play Debut Showcase, and that's like already good. Debut Showcase is fine. Showing the aura of the killer to your team is good, but if, like, they hear a pallet being dropped, they say, oh, the killer's over there. If they see someone getting knocked, they're like, oh, the killer's over there. So there's already just ways, without needing to use perks or items, that the survivors can say, oh, the killer's over there. So most of these perks just kind of suck anyways, just in general. Debut Showcase is definitely the best of the bunch, so I guess I'll put it in B tier. Aura Reveal is fine. Visual Learner adds time to it. It's good. It also can let you see the aura of the killer if you vault when the killer's kind of near. Like, that's fine as well. Hearing Aid's definitely the weakest because this relies on them breaking a pallet or generator, which happens often. Like, if a killer is walking past a generator, they're gonna kick it, right? And that's a pretty big range too. But as long as there's like a good couple survivors left, there's already going to be context clues as to where the killer might be. So you know what? I'm just gonna put all three of these in like the same spot. I do think Debut Showcase is like the best one of these. These are just two other ways for you to see the killer. But showing your entire team the aura of the killer is quite strong. These two are definitely more similar than Debut Showcase, but, they're all good, I guess. I don't know. Debut Showcase is a team support aura reveal perk. These two let you see the killer, and they work similarly. They're fine. They're fine perks. Desperate kind of sucks. After being picked up by the killer, you gain 20% wiggle. There are certain spots on certain maps where if you get knocked and the killer picks you up, they cannot bring you to a hook. But if the killer knows they can just press R and drop you, aka if you're playing against a competent killer and they know they probably can't bring you to the hook, they can just drop you and leave you there. It's annoying. It can be annoying. But if you're in that kind of spot, you're not doing a generator, you're not healing a teammate, you're not adding anything to the game. Desperate's good. This is a good perk to have. But you would always rather have even like a bad support perk, like maybe Pacifist. You would rather have something like that than Desperate, which only does something after you're already knocked. I've only got Desperate value one time. This perk is just kind of bad. It's map dependent. It's position dependent. It is so niche, but it can be good. It's low C tier. You really have to play around this, but if you do, it's pretty good. You can avoid getting hooked. Just period. You can avoid getting hooked. That's strong. It's better than these. So it's going in C tier. Enhanced Touch. After a heal action on another survivor started by you finishes, the healing survivor gains a 10% boost to healing and repairing, plus a 5% boost to movement for 30 seconds. So this is pretty similar to a perk we already talked about, Born in Blood. Born in Blood gives you and the other survivor a speed boost for 6 seconds. Enhanced Touch gives just the healed survivor a 5% movement speed bonus and a 10% action speed boost to healing and repairing for 30 seconds. These, in my opinion, I know not everybody's going to see it this way, but in my opinion, these two numbers are just so tiny, they're just so small, it doesn't even matter. 10% healing and repairing, just use Perfectionist Planning, 5% boost to movement. I don't know. Just use good looping perks. I mean, if you want, you can just use like Adrenaline Shot. I don't know. Like, there's better ways to do this. This perk sucks. Generally, you would probably rather just heal a survivor faster. So you could use Pacifist or something like that. You could just do that instead. And then you're healing that survivor for a lesser amount of time. So then there's more time to walk around or repair generators. I think that the methodology behind perks like this is just kind of flawed and sucks. So Enhanced Touch is going right here at the bottom of D because it's outclassed and also bad. Even if Pacifist didn't exist, this kind of perk would still suck. Just not very good, in my humble opinion. Expensive Decor. It increases the speed other survivors heal you by 50%. It also has this second line of something that says half of this increase is replaced by an additive 10% healing speed boost each time you get spiked. So what that means is when you haven't been spiked, before your first spike, you have a 50% healing speed increase to yourself. If that makes sense. After you get spiked, that's 35%. Second spike is 45%. Third spike, you're dead. So, worst case scenario, this is 35%. Best case scenario, it's 50%. 35% is still relevant. And by the way, this perk currently is bugged. It does not work the way it should. Currently, if you pair expensive decor with the bandage, you will gain this healing speed increase to yourself when you're healing yourself with the bandage. That's not how it's supposed to work, but it's how it's supposed to work right now, so I'm going to rank it as such. This is really good when you pair it with the bandage. There's also another good perk that you can pair with the bandage. That is Grab My Hand, which is this one. After you unspike a survivor, gain a 75% healing speed boost for 75 seconds. This is a very big speed boost. This is a very, very long amount of time. This is 1 minute and 15 seconds. It's a very long time. You do have to unspike a survivor. That's like, you do have to play around it. But you can finish healing. It's really fast. It's really great. So In a way, these two compete for bandage perk. You could use them both. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, but I guess you could. I would say expensive decor is better because you're getting about, on average, about half of the bonus of grab my hand, but you don't need to have that prerequisite of unspacking a survivor. If you're not using either of these perks, you can also use expensive decor with no pain no gain gun builds. It's the primary perk that these builds use. They'll use no pain no gain, expensive decor, and then something else. Maybe they'll pair it with pacifist to have like a super speedy get back up, or maybe they'll do like an exhaustion perk like heads up. I don't know. Everyone's different. Expensive decor is definitely the stronger of these two, but grab my hand is not bad either. So expensive decor, if you're not playing it with the bandage or no pain no gain, it's not very good. It's like fine. It is the only perk in the game that can increase your healing speed boost. The speed that you get healed, but it's not intended to work with bandage or no pain no gain. So if expensive decor worked how it should, I'd probably put it in low C or D tier. But because it has some really great synergy with no pain no gain and bandage, I'm gonna put it in A tier. Because healing speed is good. Healing for less time is just strong, and the fact that you can use this on your own, you don't need to depend on your teammates for this. You can use this independently of your team. Very strong. I'm putting it in A. Might as well just do grab my hand right now. Pairs well with the bandage, particularly. C tier, I guess. If you're, because you can also heal your teammates. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put it in high C tier. Mid to low B tier is also fine. It's good. It's a good healing speed. You know what? No, I'm putting it in B tier. It lasts a long time and it gives you a very impactful, very noticeable healing speed bonus. Prerequisite is not that hard. It's not that difficult to get a survivor off of a hook. Just sometimes, some games, you're just not going to be able to get a survivor off of a hook. But when it works, it's great. It's fantastic. It's going in low B tier. Eyes of Heaven. The aura of all pallets and windows are revealed to you within a 100 stud range. This perk is great for beginners, for new players to this game who don't know where the pallets are, who don't know where the windows are. But once you do learn the map layout, this perk only effectively lets you know if pallets are still there. That's the only thing this perk does once you know where the windows and pallet locations are. And that's okay. That's not even necessarily a bad thing. I think it's kind of cool that they made this perk. But once you know where all the pallets are and windows are, this thing just does, yeah. Once you know where pallets and windows are, it only just lets you know if the pallets are still there. So if you're a beginner, you might just want to consider running this every game, so you just get used to where the pallets and windows are. But once you do know how the maps are laid out, this perk does one thing, and it's not very strong. It does come up and can save you from dying, so I'm gonna put it right here. Is it better than Ambitious Medic? It might be. It depends. I'm gonna put it right here. If you're new, then you should be using it most games until you've learned the layout of the maps. But if you're, I'm just gonna say, like me, if you're an experienced gamer, then this thing only shows you where pallets are, and if they've already been used, then that kind of sucks. It's not worth using over having a third perk. So C tier it goes. Familiar Soul. I believe I already directly compared this to Absolute Confidence, but maybe I haven't. Familiar Soul lets you see the aura of survivors within a 120 stud radius. So smaller than Absolute Confidence, but with Absolute Confidence you have to be in chase. So Familiar Soul lets you see where survivors are. That's nice if you're running like a healing speed build, so you can, you know, if they're like on a generator, you can walk over and heal them, and then, you know, like it's good. But generally you can, like I kind of already said, you can just use context clues to see where survivors are or might be. Chances are sometimes survivors might even seek out their teammates to see if they can heal them, so it's not bad. It only competes with one other perk, but I would say in most cases Absolute Confidence is better. But Familiar Soul isn't bad. It's not bad. It just doesn't accomplish very much. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's better than Desperate. I would not say it's better than... Actually, it is better. I don't know. You could make this perk kind of cool. You can turn into like a medic if you use like Pacifist and Grab My Hand. Then you can become like a super fast healer, and you know where your teammates are. Or you could just not. You could just use Familiar Soul on its own with like heads up and flow state, and that sounds kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. So C tier. Yeah, that's where it goes. Okay. Flawless Execution. This is a generator perk through and through. While repairing, this is so much text. While repairing a generator and hitting consecutive great skill checks while alone, gain a 5% repair speed boost until you miss. So once you get on a generator and you hit a great skill check, you have a 5% speed boost bonus. After your third consecutive skill check, this effect is increased by an additional 3%. So each great skill check you hit without missing gives you a 5% repair speed bonus. So your first great skill check gives you 5%, second one's 10%, third is 15%, and then after that, I believe, then like your fourth is 18, your fifth is 21%, so it scales slower. But also, in addition to giving you repair speed bonus, each skill check you hit decreases the duration of the next by 0.1 seconds until you miss. So your great skill checks become harder to hit. They become much harder to hit, especially after that third and fourth one. They become basically impossible, to where you're going to want to go for your standard skill checks. You're not even going to want to try to hit a great skill check, because then you're just going to lose your bonus, right? You have a 12-second window to return to your generator after leaving if you want to keep your bonus. You know, having like a 15-18% skill, a 15 to 18% repair speed boost is pretty good. That's good. But I do believe it is outclassed by Perfectionist Planning, because Perfectionist Planning, you don't need it hitting the skill checks. It just gives a 10% boost to 3 generators that can be used by your entire team. Or you could have this like dumb, stupid whole great skill check thing, that if you miss, the killer's gonna know where you're at. Like, I do think that this perk is outclassed by Perfectionist Planning. If you were to use both, then you can get like a 25, upwards of 28% repair speed boost. That's pretty strong. That's pretty good. Do keep in mind that Flawless Execution only works while you're alone, and that's kind of the opposite of like a group project, or, you know, whatever. Perfectionist Planning as a whole is incentivizing your team to work around those 3 generators. So using both is not bad, but you can't be mad if a survivor chooses to work on a Perfectionist Planning generator and then that shuts off your Flawless Execution. Like, it's like they just don't work the best together, even though you think they would, because they're generator speed books. Anyways, books. The what am I done with speed books? It's fine. It is a generator speed perk. I do believe it's outclassed by Perfectionist Planning. So I'm gonna put Flawless Execution in. It's a generator speed perk. which is better than most of these. So I'm gonna put it right there. And while we're here, I'm just gonna put Perfectionist Planning in S tier. This is possibly the strongest. This is probably the strongest non-exhaust perk in the game besides maybe Flow State. It's very strong. Flow State. This is a very, very good perk. When you fast vault, you vault 20% quicker. I don't have footage of that, but I could though. Maybe no, I can't actually. Never mind. Now normally you would say, well, 20% isn't that much, and it also has a 50-second cooldown. That's true. 20% doesn't sound like a much. It doesn't sound like very much. But why am I stuttering? What it does is like a hurt box shift. Normally, when you fast fall, the killer has a good amount of time where if they're like coming at you from the side, they can hit you. But with Flow State, it's like almost instant. You basically go through that window instantly. It is much faster than 20%, as it might have you believe. This is a speed perk that shifts your hurt box and also gives you distance, more distance when you vault a window when you're being chased by the killer. So it is one-dimensional, but it gives you speed, and it lets you dodge a hit that no other perk can really do besides the dagger, but the dagger is an item, so you only get one of those, right? Flow State is fantastic. It is generally lower value than like an exhaust perk, which is why you'll see so many people having an exhaust perk like Heads Up or Quick Recovery or Perfect Landing, pairing that with Flow State, and then one more perk like maybe Absolute Confidence or Perfectionist Planning or Group Project, Last Stand, something like that, right? Because Flow State is, in many ways, it is like a second speed perk. There really is no other perk in the game like Flow State. It is completely uncontested. Many people would argue that Flow State is the best perk in the game because you can pair it with other exhaust perks, and that's honestly kind of a valid argument. Flow State is undeniably S tier. I'm going to put it right here. Both, yeah, it's good. It is fantastic. I used to think, bro, 20% faster fast faults, that's not even that good. It has saved my bacon so many times. It really has. If you're a hater, I understand it. I used to be a hater, but you gotta try it. You gotta try it before you knock it, or whatever the saying is. It's really great. We've already talked about Grab My Hand. Great Collapse. There are 4 exhaust perks in this game. Great Collapse, Heads Up, Quick Recovery, and Perfect Landing. In DBD, it's called Exhaustion, but in Violence District, it's called Winded. These 4 perks conditionally grant you a speed boost, and then applies the Winded status effect. And when you're winded, you can't get the speed boost from these. So I'm just going to go through all 4 of them right now. Quick Recovery. When you fast or medium vault, you gain a 40% speed boost for 3 seconds, and then you're winded for 50 seconds. Perfect Landing. When you fall from a great height, which means when you like land and you get that like movement speed nerf or whatever you want to call it, you recover from that 75% faster. So it's basically like it never happened, unless you're falling from like the 3rd story of Firelink. That's kind of it. You recover from the speed debuff faster, and you gain a 40% speed boost for 3 seconds, just like Quick Recovery. But with Perfect Landing, you're only winded for 40 seconds, as opposed to Quick Recovery's 50. Heads Up activates whenever the killer gets within a 50 stud range of you. And then it gives you a little sound cue saying, hey, the killer's coming towards you. It reveals the aura of the killer for 3 seconds, and you gain a 20% speed boost for 3 seconds, and then winds you. It applies Winded for 40 seconds. Great Collapse, which is by far the weakest of these 4, only activates when you stun the killer with a pallet, and it gives you a 30% speed boost for 3 seconds, and then it applies Winded for 40 seconds. Great Collapse, even if this perk didn't give you a speed boost, it still would not be very good. Sorry, oh my goodness. What I mean to say is that even if Great Collapse didn't give you Winded, and it just like placed itself on a cooldown, this perk would still suck. But because it does wind you, which means that you can't use it with any of these other exhaust perks, this perk is just so bad. In a vacuum, maybe it's fine, but because it does wind you, it does make you winded, and you're going to always want to run one exhaust perk, this perk is just completely unviable. So I'm going to put Great Collapse as the worst perk in the game. It is so bad. It is. You have no reason to use this perk at all. Because you have 3 other really fantastic perks that also give you winded. Why not just have perks that do something better that you can activate easier? Great Collapse sucks. It is very bad. Heads up, I have come around on. Yo, chill on me, huz, chill on me. I've been using this like super. You know what? I'm not gonna get into that. Heads up is great. It's different than Perfect Landing and Quick Recovery because these two, you can choose when to activate them. You can choose when to fast medium vault. You can choose when to fall from great heights. But sometimes the killer is just going to be walking around you. They're not like Heads Up will activate most of the time when you're on a generator. And that's fantastic, especially against silent killers, which means Myers or Jacket with a rat mask, or whenever a killer is using Shadow Trace, which is a pretty common perk you see killers running. Heads Up lets you basically be silent killer proof. It's really good. It also gives you a small little speed boost, which helps especially when you're like mid-loop. It's really great. And it only wins for 40 seconds compared to Quick Recovery's 50. Heads Up is fantastic. It is my personal favorite out of the 3. I do have a good amount of experience with these 3, probably the most with Perfect Landing if I'm being honest. I love Heads Up. In theory, you know, you might read, oh, it only gives 20% speed. That's so bad. Heads Up sucks. Most of the value that I get with Heads Up is with this aura reveal. The speed boost is just the cherry on top. Heads Up could like literally give no speed boost, and it would still be good. Might be a hot take, but Heads Up is just so strong. This is just so strong. I am going to put Heads Up as I'm gonna put it right here. And then Perfect Landing, Quick Recovery. These two, people talk about this all the time. Quick Recovery activates whenever you fast or medium vault. Perfect Landing only activates when you fall from a great height. Some maps only have one of these. Some maps have like 3. It completely depends. Like Valdolobos, there's only 1 of these, right? And sometimes you might get the bad one, where there's like not even the little roof of the house. Like it's map dependent. But on like Mercy Hospital, on Mount Massive Asylum, there's 2 of these, and they're both pretty good. Actually, there's 3. Like it's map dependent, and you have to play around them. But it's the shortest wind and the fastest speed boost. You have to play around it, but not so much that it's kind of annoying like a lot of the other perks. So it's good. It's good. Is it better than Quick Recovery? I personally do think so. You do have to kind of stick around that spot. You do kind of have to play around it, but Quick Recovery allows you okay, listen. Here's like the little debate between these. You have to play around Perfect Landing, but the effect is better. And you're winded for less time. Quick Recovery you can activate anywhere around the map because there's windows everywhere. So you can get that speed boost anywhere, but it's not as good as Perfect Landings, and you're also winded for longer. So different builds, different map. I mean, the map is random, but if you like to, you know, be able to go wherever you want to go, then Quick Recovery is probably better for you, right? I guess that's just how it is. It wouldn't feel right if I put one over the other, so I'm just gonna put them right next to each other right here. Probably Quick Recovery is probably better. Yeah, like that. Yeah. like this. That's what I think. I'll see if I can pick up the pace a little bit on these next couple ones. Group project. Gain a 7% repair speed per survivor on the same generator as you. This effect is shared to every survivor repairing the generator. It does not stack with itself. So, if there are, if you're the only survivor on the generator, this does nothing. Wait, is that right? Per survivor? Yeah. So, if you're the only survivor on a generator, this does nothing. If there's another generator, then both of you gain a 7% repair speed bonus. If there's 2 other survivors, all 3 of you gain a 14% bonus, and somehow, if there's 4 survivors total on a generator, if there's you and 3 others, like on Firelink Shrine VAR generator, then all 4 of you gain a 21% speed bonus to generator repair speed. Pretty strong. The thing about stacking survivors on generators is, let's just say that a generator takes a minute to finish. 2 survivors won't make it 30 seconds. It's not like that. I'm pretty sure it's like about a 20% increase-ish in speed. It is not 50%, it's not double. It is a small increase. So group project can make that a bit faster, but generally, just how you're going to be playing the game, you're going to want to be splitting up your generator pressure. But maybe like in the beginning of the game, if you and a friend, if you're like queued up with a friend and you just rush generators, you have like you have like I guess not flawless execution, but if you have like perfectionist planning and group project, that's an easy 24% repair speed. That's pretty good. That's really strong. That can shave like 10 seconds easy, maybe even 15 seconds easy per generator, right? So it's good, but you have to play around it, and this is definitely not a solo queue perk. You have to play around this, but if you do, it's pretty good. It's not as strong as perfectionist planning, and you do have to depend on your team, so I would say that it's probably on the same level, maybe in solo queue, it's probably on the same level as flawless execution, but you can abuse this perk with friends. You can make it a lot stronger. So group project, I'm gonna put it in A, probably low A, like that. It's good. It is good, undeniably, but you have to play around it. In solo queue, it's probably B. It's probably low B tier, maybe high C tier. But if you've got friends, it's A tier. If you've got friends in a Discord call, it's quite good. I already talked about heads up and hearing aid. High karma is it does one thing. It's really strong though. I'm just gonna read it. After unspiking a survivor, you can successfully unspike yourself the first time you're spiked. So if you haven't been hooked yet, if you are on your 0th hook, if that makes sense, and you save a survivor, high karma is now on. So whenever you get put onto your first hook, you can take yourself off the hook. You don't need to wait for a teammate or anything like that. You can just do it yourself, which is quite strong. It does apply anti-heal for 60 seconds, 1 full minute, which means that you can't just go over to a friend and then get a heal. You cannot be healed for 60 seconds after you get off the hook. It's probably worth it though, because especially if you're in a Discord call with your friends, you can just say, guys, I have high karma, don't even go for me, just stay on the generators, I'm chilling, I got this. High karma is quite strong. Some games you will just die first. Some games you will just get hooked and you won't get any high karma value. That's just how it is, right? So some games this is fantastic. Some games a teammate's right around the corner anyways, ready to save you. Some games you get some fat value out of high karma. It really depends. You don't really know going into a game whether you're going to get value or not. This is a very strong perk though. I'm putting it in high A. Just below S because some games it does nothing. Some games you'd rather have any other perk because you just die first. sometimes you just get sniped, and that's just how it is. A lot of people say this is like the best perk in the game. They run it every time. That's fine. You can have your favorites, but it's just inconsistent. That's all. It's just inconsistent. So I can't put it in S with all of these other consistent perks, even though the effect can be quite strong. Intense workout. Whenever you unspike a survivor, you do it 50% faster, and you give them a 10% speed boost for 8 seconds. This is kind of a nothing burger. I believe this perk used to just let you unspike survivors 75% faster, and there was no speed boost, and then they changed it to this. A 10% speed boost is not enough to actually outrun a killer. It's not enough over a long distance. 8 seconds is a good amount of time. But like there's simply just better perks to run in this game. Give me a second. My mom's calling me. I gotta take this. Okay. Right. Intense workout. When you unspike a survivor, I already read it. The unspiking animation only takes like, what, 2 seconds? It doesn't take that long. So you're not saving time over the long run. Like over the course of the game, maybe you'll unspike survivors like twice, 3 times, maybe? This isn't saving much time. It can be the difference between getting hit by the killer and not getting hit by the killer. I think this perk would be a lot stronger if it gave you and the survivor you just saved a 10-second speed boost. That would be nice. That would be sick. That would make this perk like A tier, maybe. But as it is, this perk is just kind of nothing because this 50% speed boost is not relevant, and this 10% speed boost is similarly not very relevant. So this perk, as a whole, is not relevant. I'm putting it in C tier. It does have a stronger effect than other perks in the game, and it is easier to activate than other perks in the game. But this is still pretty bad. It's still like not very good. But it's better than some other perks, I guess. Iron Tranquility is really interesting because there's no other perk to compare to. While you're on the spike, your aura is hidden from the killer. So the killer has no idea if you're on the spike or not, unless they're directly looking at you. Normally, killers can see the aura of generators, and they can see the aura of spike survivors through walls and stuff. That is not the case if you have Iron Tranquility. In addition to doing that, it decreases the lifetime of your blood pools by 5 seconds. Both of these things are pretty good. Iron Tranquility is a good perk. You can be like a sneaky little ninja, and the killer has to kind of hang around you because they don't know if you're there or not, right? Which is good. It means that maybe the killer might be incentivized to stay around where you're hooked, so your teammates can get more generator progress, right? This is a good perk. Your teammates do not know whether you have Iron Tranquility or not unless you're communicating with them like through Discord, right? So you tell them, hey guys, I have Iron Tranquility, so maybe just focus on gens because the killer's going to be hanging around, right? This might lead to some sort of scenario where you're just on the hook longer because the killer's hanging around. So you might die on the hook longer. That might just naturally happen. Anyways, this is a fine perk. It's really nothing crazy. This isn't gonna like win you games or anything. It just kind of annoys the killer. It also might just like whenever you get off the killer, the oh wait, no, I guess there still will be the noise notification. If this perk like also said that when you get unspiked that there's no loud noise notification, this perk would be really good. Because then you can be like a sneaky little ninja, and the killer's got no idea when you get unhooked. That would be cool. But because the killer knows when you get off the hook anyways, a lot of the value of this perk is just kind of lost. So, it's fine. Both of these things are fine, but you'd probably rather use a more impactful perk. So, honestly, yeah. That's where I'm putting it. B tier. It's pretty good. You're going to get spiked in games. That's just going to happen. And this makes that process a bit more annoying for the killer. It's good. Last Stand. There are a good couple endgame perks. There's 4 of them right here. Last Stand, Left Behind, Nobody Left Behind, and On My Own. Did I already do Left Behind? I think I did. No, I didn't. Okay, well. Wait, no, Last Stand. I did do Last Stand, didn't I? Am I crazy? I'm out of my mind. Alright. So, 3 of these activate when the escape gates are powered, and On My Own activates when you're the last survivor left. So I guess I'll go over this one, and then I'll go over these 3. On My Own. When you are the last survivor alive, reveal the aura of the killer for 10 seconds and gain a 60% opening speed boost, opening to the gates. To my knowledge, this is the only way to have a speed boost to opening the gates. Once you've played a couple games, you will come across the situation where you are the only survivor left, and the killer is just patrolling both doors. If you have On My Own, you can win those like 100% of the time if you just wait for the killer to start patrolling, and then you hide near the door, and then you pop out, open the door before they can even get back to you. That's what On My Own does. And it also, but the thing is, you are not going to want to be here most games. You are going to want to finish all the generators, and then open the doors. Hopefully with all of your team, sometimes not. You would rather play a more impactful perk before you get here. Maybe if you're solo queuing, this perk is good. But as it stands, you'd probably just rather play a perk that you can use during the game. Like a healing perk or a generator speed perk. Something like that, to where you don't need to use something like this. This kind of perk would just feel bad, because the way I would use On My Own, I would probably use On My Own in addition to something like Heads Up and Flow State. And then, if it happens that I'm the last survivor left, well, I guess I have an easier time escaping. But guess what? I could have also just used Perfectionist Planning. And maybe my team could have, spent less time on generators, maybe they'd still be alive, right? So, interesting little, thing there. It's fine. It's fine. On My Own, where is it? It can do something no other perk can do, which makes it automatically, good. But I do not think anything better than, high C tier. It's, fine. Honestly? B tier? Is it B tier? I'm putting it right here, because it can do something no other perk can do. But you're already kind of fricked if you're in this situation anyways, and the killer can just kind of chase you, and then you lose if you do this improperly, so that's fine. Last Stand, Left Behind, and Nobody Left Behind. That's funny. All of these perks activate when the escape gates are powered, so after the 5th generator is completed. Last Stand heals you and reveals the aura of the killer for 20 seconds. This is really strong. It's one of only 2 perks in the game that can heal you. It also reveals the aura of the killer for 20 seconds, which is really strong. Especially if you can communicate this with your team. Left Behind gives you a permanent 7% speed boost after the escape gates are powered, which is also pretty good. The speed boost is always good. This is useful if you're in a loop, or if you're just running to a gate, or anything. This is just good. It is low impact, because you'd probably rather be playing a perk to get you here anyways, but it's fine. Nobody Left Behind reveals the aura of every survivor to you, and you gain a 75% boost to healing and unspiking speed. So it's a permanent aura reveal, but there's already possibly better perks that can do that. Earlier in the game, and it gives you a speed boost to healing and unspiking, which other perks can do. Unspiking speed doesn't matter, healing speed is good. There's perks that can do that throughout the game. If Nobody Left Behind first. This is low impact because it only helps your team. you'd rather be playing a better support perk. Nobody Left Behind. Is this the right one? Yeah. It's like fine. It gives you number buffs. Is it better than Familiar Soul? Yes, it is better than Familiar Soul. I'm gonna put it like right here. It's like whatever. This perk is just like not anything special. Last Stand is quite good. It's definitely the best of the bunch. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Maybe right here. Healing is great. Sometimes you might already be healed, which is good. If you're healed when this kit gets overpowered, that's a good thing. And if you're not, then you're getting Last Stand value. It also reveals the aura of the killer, which is great if you can communicate with your team. But if you can't, it's still really quite strong. And then Left Behind. This is fine. To be honest with you, I've never gotten value out of this. I've never used Left Behind before. But I keep saying this, you'd rather just be playing a perk that can give you speed boost earlier in the game when it might matter more. That's like fine. I like, unless you're playing a full end game survivor build, which it sounds pretty bad anyways. Like, this perk just doesn't have like a place. 7% speed boost is not enough to outspeed the killer, not even close. It's not D tier because it procs easier than all of these. I think I'm gonna put it right there. I think I'm gonna put it right there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Hi, Monica. No Pain No Gain. This one's really interesting. Become permanently injured, so you permanently can only take one hit, and then you're down. You're knocked. Oops, you're knocked. But you gain the ability to self-recover. And you also have a 30% self-recovery speed boost. This perk is 99.9, actually more like 100% of the time, you're going to be using this perk with a gun. Because if you shoot trying to stun the killer or free a survivor from the killer, right? Like if they're going to hook a survivor, and you fail, you can shoot with the gun, you get knocked, and then you pick yourself back up with no pain, no gain. It's good. Especially if you have 2 or 3 friends like in a Discord call, just keep shooting, just keep pestering the opponent, the killer, because there's just no slugging with this kind of build. Slugging is impossible. You can't hit a survivor and just leave them there, because with no pain, no gain, they can just pick themselves back up. Also, I didn't say this yet. With no pain, no gain, even though you are permanently injured, there are no blood pools. You will never leave blood pools because you only have 1 health state. That makes sense. So, I do think that no pain, no gain with the gun is too strong right now. I'd say that there's like a lot of changes that can be made to the gun specifically. But if they didn't want to nerf the gun and they wanted to go after no pain, no gain instead, I would say that a good enough nerf to no pain, no gain would just to create permanent blood pools. That seems pretty bad, because then the killer has like permanent access as to where they are, to where the no pain, no gain survivor is. That's pretty good. That is good information for a killer to have. So no pain, no gain in the context that you are using it with a gun is very good. It's S tier. It's not even like close. It's really good. If you're in solo queue with the gun, it's not very good. But if you can play with it like with your teammates, it's great. It's really fantastic. You can get so much value out of this. You can pester the killer so much with this. You can waste so much time, and the killer kind of has to play into it, because what are they just gonna, like, is the killer just gonna not get a hook? Definitely too strong, I would say. Probably overpowered. Gun plus no pain, no gain. So definitely in the next update, either the perk or the item will be changed. As of now, it's definitely too strong. I would not say it's strong. I would say that the highs are higher than any of these perks, but you really have to play around it. Some people might disagree with that methodology. this is where it goes in the context of you're using it with the gun. On-screen fear. Whenever you are in the terror radius of the killer and not in chase, gain a 3% movement speed boost and a 10% boost to healing and repairing. If you want a healing or repairing speed boost, I'm just going to ignore that. There's Pacifist for healing speed boost, and Perfectionist Planning, or even Flawless Execution, or Group Project for repair speed bonus. And this 3% movement speed bonus is not at all relevant at all. This perk activates easily because you're going to be in the terror radius of the killer for a good portion of the game. But this 3% is not relevant, and if you want a healing or if you want a permanent healing or repairing speed bonus, you can just play better perks. So this perk isn't bad, but there's better. But it is completely outclassed by other perks. Does that mean that it's D tier? I don't know. Is it D tier? I don't think so. Like, it just doesn't impact the game at all. You know what? Maybe the effect is just so little that it doesn't even matter. Alright. Yeah, this activates easier than most of these perks, but it just does so little that I am going to put on-screen fear in D tier because it's outclassed by perks that activate easier and more often. That's my reasoning, I think. Alright, look at this. We're almost done. We only got a couple more perks to go. Pacifist. I've been talking a lot about this perk. What does it do? You gain a flat 20% healing speed boost. That's not that great. 20% is not very much at all. However, this number is increased by an additional 10% per survivor missing from the normal 5. So let's just say that there's 3 survivors. That's a 40% speed boost. If there's 2 survivors left, you have a 50% healing speed boost that, by the way, you can't take advantage of with the sandwich and no pain, no gain. So if there's 5 survivors left, like this perk gets better as the game progresses, which is not like necessarily a bad thing, because having even like a 40% healing speed boost is really good, particularly if you pair it with the sandwich or no pain, no gain. So if you're using this on its own, it's fine. It is like the de facto healing speed bonus perk, like Perfectionist Planning is the de facto generator repair speed perk. It's good. It's good. Pacifist is undeniably strong. If you want to heal people faster, you should look first to Pacifist. So I'm gonna put it right here because it's good. It's a good perk. There's really nothing much to say about it. Partners in Crime. This is really funny because there's like no colors on there. I guess I just forgot to do that. That's funny. When you and another survivor are both in the killer's terror radius for 15 seconds but not in chase. That's so specific. Gain 1 token, up to 3. For every token you have, gain a 4% repair speed bonus. You lose 1 token every 25 seconds while not repairing a generator. This just seems bad. Like, up to 3, which means that if you both have partners in crime and both of you are in the killer's terror radius for 45 seconds not in chase, then both of you gain a 12% repair speed bonus. This just seems much worse than Group Project. This is so bad. This perk sucks. Literally, why would you ever use this perk? This is possibly the worst perk in the game. Like, actually. I know I've been saying that Snake Step sucks, and it does, in my opinion. But Snake Step does something that no other perk in the game does. This is just worse Group Project. This sucks. This perk is so bad. Unbelievable. Yeah, you know what? This is the worst perk in the game. This is horrible. Gosh. A 4% repair speed bonus after you're in the killer radius for 15 seconds, and you have to have a survivor, and it's only 4% and it's only you. This is just so bad. All of this is bad. This sucks. Never use Partners in Crime. This is the worst perk in the game. Absolutely. I already talked about perfect landing and perfectionist. Oh, yeah, I guess I haven't. Is it there? It is, but I'm going to actually talk about what it does. Perfectionist planning. The aura of 3 unrepaired generators closest to each other are revealed to you. Repairing these generators allows you to repair them 10% faster, as well as revealing their aura to other survivors for 55 seconds. Repairing any other generator is 5% slower. Let me actually explain to you what that means. The 3 closest generators to you, refreshed every 55 seconds, glow yellow to you and your entire team, and you and your entire team can repair the 3 yellow generators that are closest to you 10% faster. If you are repairing a generator that is not yellow, you repair that 5% slower. This gives you and your entire team 10% generator repair speed bonus. It's just great. There's like, this is amazing. You have to work really hard for the 10% of group project, which I guess would be 14%, but that's if there's 3 people on a generator. With flawless execution, first you have to run flawless execution. Only you can get that bonus, and you can't get that bonus if you're working with a teammate, and you have to hit great skill checks. Perfectionist planning is like, there's no prerequisites, and your entire team can take advantage of this perk. It's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. This is the best generator perk in the game. One of the best perks in the game, just in general. Just period. Second wind is really interesting. It does something that no other perk can do. After you are unspiked, increase endurance by 25 seconds. I believe after you're unspiked, you gain, I think, 8 or 10 seconds of invincibility / endurance. Second wind increases that amount of time by 25 seconds. So if you've ever been in a situation where you get off the hook and the killer just chases you for 10 seconds and then hits you again and then he hooks you again, that sucks. You can play second wind to prevent that from happening. So the killer waits 10 seconds, 15 seconds, they hit you, and you don't get knocked because you still have endurance and they don't know that. It's good. This situation does not happen enough in my experience to where you need to run it. Because maybe the killer hits you as soon as you get unspiked, and then second wind doesn't even matter. Or maybe the killer doesn't go after you anyways, so then second wind doesn't matter. It does something no other perk can do. It's just not relevant enough, in my opinion, to pick. Maybe if you're being targeted or something, by a friend, one of your friends is the killer and he's just messing with you, maybe. But this perk is not good enough to solo queue with. Not at all. It's good though. So high D tier? It's better than Desperate. I'll put it right there. It's C tier. It's fine. I feel like I might, you know what? I'm almost done anyways. I'm almost done. Alright, yeah, I have 3 more. Snake Step, Time to Grab and Stronger Together. Snake Step, while you're crouched, the killer cannot reveal your aura. So there's lots of killer perks, namely Next in Line. That's a really, really popular one. Also Enhanced Senses. That's it. And Echolocation. These these killer perks give the killer an insane amount of survivor aura stuff, particularly Next in Line. Next in Line, whenever a killer spikes a survivor, they see the aura of the farthest survivor for 8 seconds. This is insane, particularly when there's 3 or especially when there's only 2 survivors left, because when you spike a survivor, you get to see one of the or the only survivor left. You know exactly where they are. It's insane. With Snake Step, you can say, actually, no, I don't want you to see where I am. Additionally, it also increases the speed, your crouch speed, by 110%. So it's almost as fast as sprinting, which is kind of cool. You can if you know somehow that the killer has Next in Line, it is a very popular killer perk. But if you know they have it, you can use Snake Step and not get your aura seen, which is good. And it's actually a lot better than some other perks on this list. It's not so bad, but you have to be crouched to make advantage to like use this perk. So you're gonna have to like get off generators. Just like it's fine. You really have to play around it, and it is like a pretty high level perk. It's good though. It can block next in line and stuff like echolocation. So it's good. How good is it, in my opinion? In my humble opinion. Like right here, I think this is where Snake Step should be. You really do have to play around it kind of annoyingly, and a lot of the games, Killer might not even play any or reveal perks, which is true. So it's Killer dependent, but potentially it's really strong. And then these last two, Time to Grow Up. My usual build is Time to Grow Up, Flow State, and Heads Up. Time to Grow Up gives you 3 seconds. Okay, well, no, here. So when you get hit, you gain a 20% speed boost for 1 second. You gain a 20% speed boost for 1 second. Time to Grow Up increases that speed boost by 3 seconds. So instead of having a 20% speed boost for 1 second, you have a 20% speed boost for 4 seconds. It's basically a free exhaust perk whenever you get hit. This is enough time to run away from the killer, if they're like Myers or something, especially. Also Jason, right? Jacket, if they don't have the chainsaw mask or panther mask or something like that, right? Where they can't really catch up to you. It's really an insane amount of speed. Like this text does not do justice to how much speed, how much distance you get from Time to Grow Up. It's like not even fair. And it's free. It activates whenever you get hit. It's really fantastic. And it's arguable that it's on the same level as Flow State. I'd probably agree with that. I do believe this perk is really strong. It's just speed though, and it only happens when you get hit. Sometimes the speed isn't going to matter because you're like on a loop. So at high levels, like this doesn't do very much. It just extends the loop time by a couple seconds. Flow State does more, like other perks can do more. This is a secondary speed perk, similar to Flow State. Flow State kind of outclasses it, but you listen here. I'm kind of just yapping. Here's what I'm trying to say. Your loadout is going to look something like 1 exhaust perk, 1 additional speed perk, like Flow State or Flow State or Time to Grow Up, and then something else. You could run these both. That's what I do. What am I trying to say? Time to Grow Up is very good. In my opinion, is it S tier? I don't believe it's S tier now. Matter of fact, I'm just going to put build different right here. Okay, last one. We're stronger together. Whenever you are within 15 studs of any survivor, every survivor within that range gains a 6% speed boost. 6% speed boost is not enough to be meaningful. If you pair this with something else that gives speed, like if you and your duo both have Left Behind and Stronger Together, you can outrun some killers. Like you can outrun Vale. She can throw spears, but you can still outrun Vale. You can outrun Base Myers without even needing a loop. It's cool, and it is easy speed, but you need to be like basically within like fart sniffing distance of a survivor. So this is bad for solo queue, and even if you're queued up with somebody like in a Discord call, it's just like it's like so low value, it just stinks. People play this a lot. It's not very good. This is not worth your support perk. You should play something better, like Absolute Confidence or Pacifist or Perfectionist Planning, something like that. That would probably be a better use of one of your 3 perk slots. It can provide some value though to you and a teammate, so putting that into account, I'll put it right here. I don't believe it's as good as Left Behind, but it can provide value to you and a teammate, so there you go. This is my survivor perk tier list. This is it. Boom. There's what you clicked the video for. I guess that's it, huh? Well, I guess that's it. That's not even funny. You disagree. I don't care. Tell me why. If this does well, maybe I will make one for other stuff like killers or items or something. Hopefully, if you're a new player, this helped you a little bit. Sometimes I'm a little bit opinionated, but I like to think that this list is like mostly, for the most part, pretty objective. To be honest, could have put these two like this, so we had like only like the actual best perks in the game up here. But I do believe that these two can be good enough, especially this. If you're playing it with the gun with friends, it totally has S tier potential. But I'm happy with this. I do believe this is like a good tier list of like the overall power level of most of the perks in this game. So that's all I got. See ya.